center of Judaism since antiquity. So now we can read this clearly with Kavera on our minds, right? With Heber on our minds, Eber on our minds. We can read it with the Hebrew Eber on our minds, even though they're just talking Kabbalah. You're talking the Arabic, Arab, Choctaw, right? Eber, which is Kabbalah, or Eber. Same thing, right? Crazy, right? Which is Kuvera, cities of gold. Coincidence? I'm gonna read some more out of this. Let's just connect, because we're gonna talk some Naga talk. We got some Naga talk coming. Still in India Superior. Now when I read this David Rubini drop, and they're talking about early Islam in Ethiopia, you can say, stop it, boss. Ethiopia? Say it with me. Etymology. What's a dragon? Fabled city of Kuvera. Fabled, fabulous sounds of dragon. No, I'm just talking about seeing clearly. Do you see clearly? What is Ethiopia? Etymologies. Latin Ethiopia, from the Greek Ethiopia. Greek word. Ethiop, Greek word. Ethiop, Greek word. The native name is Abyssinia. Really, boss? They say Greek Ethiopia means burnt face, so really, we're just talking about that fire in your eyes, because you see clearly. I'll be seeing you. Abyssinia, old name for Ethiopia. Arabic Habasa, if you're talking Arab proper. Now we can talk about this mixed multitude of Moses. Yet Moses has a mixed multitude, you know. Medianites and all that. The Kenites and all that, right? Yeah, Moses has a mixed multitude. I'm not talking about black and white. I'm just talking about a mixture of tribes. Who's leading these tribes, these mixtures of tribes, including Israel, has this old name that predates the term Ethiops or Ethiopia. It's the native name, Abyssinia. Abasa. Native name. I mean, come on. Come on, Khan. Who else could be represented, man? It's Prester John. Emperor of the Abyssinians. Abyssinians. Who's leading the mixed multitude? You are my Naga, the native, right? Leading these native tribes, predating the Ethiopian title, Greek title. Early Islam in Ethiopia, we gotta be talking Abyssinia. And if you're talking Islam, we're talking Arab proper, or the non-Arab stock. Get Prester 91. You talk Rubeni, are you talking like he's from the tribe of Reuben, or he's King David who's ruling over all the northern and southern tribes, including Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh? Gadi, and Mani. In a sense, this is the same husband of the queen, Lady Hannah, David the First. I said David the First. You know that we're also talking about Prester John, husband of Lady Hannah, David the First. So Jadaron is David the First. Just keep all that present, especially when we start getting into the king of the Allens and who the Allens are. All same people. This is all Israel. Allens are Israel. You know, he's the father of David, Saul from Babylon and Georgia. All these are Israelites. But you got a Georgia in America. Hey, there a Georgia in America. This David is the son of David first. That's why he's a David leading Israel during this Persian, Babylonian, Islamic, Mohammedan captivity. Who's Prester John? Or who is Prester John? Emperor of the Abyssinians. Native name for Ethiopia. Leader of the multitude, the mixed multitude. How about side? A mixture of tribes, not races, tribes. Let's go. Alright, we're breaking it down because we see clearly, right? With dragonfly perspective. Body, body. Alright. Ethiopia, Abyssinia. Let's go. We are in no rush. We can get to Prester John 306, man. We can keep going, man. We in the nines, you know what I'm saying? We didn't get here on your flow. We got here on our flow, you know what I'm saying? So, you in the flow, you in the classroom, Halal HaWah. Other than that, back, hijack. Give us plenty space. According to modern experts, David Rubeni claimed descent from the biblical tribe of Reuben, made obvious by his choice of name, as well as brotherhood with Davidic king Shlomo of Kabar. If he has a brotherhood with a Davidic king, that's the house of Judah. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about Kabar or Eber, right? Kabar of Kabar. Arabic, Arab proper. Kabar. No. Hebrew, or Klaver. They put the Q to substitute, and they put the V to substitute the B, just like the Rav and the Rav, right? Because David's own story calls the town Kabar rather than Kabar. It's still Eber, right? Kabar. A quick detour is necessary in order to establish its later identification. Muslim tradition does not put much importance on Kabar, according to its narratives. The oasis of Kabar fell to the Mohammedans in the 7th century. Before the event, the Jewish army of the Hebrews had been led against the followers of the Prophet Muhammad. Their bringing in the Islam connection, you see here that the Hebrews were at war against Muhammad. This ain't about King Saul, his daddy Kish converting and doing all that, popping off the impropers. This is about the Ebers, the Eberu, and they were led against the followers of the Prophet Muhammad by two leaders, Solomon and Hanan the Nasi. Very important. Pay attention, man. We just are continuing where we left off. Right here in 105. Let's go. That was just the intro. We out of here. Let's go. Solomon and Hanan. Come on. Let's go. Hanan, if you need to pause it, get some water, do it right now. Right? Get some purified, high electric water, and let's go. Out of here. Get your mem sauce and let's go. Yosef got the win. Solomon, Hanan, and Nasi. It's always funny, because when we talk Nasi, we're talking about, priesthood as well, right? So, we're giving information a certain way. It's important not to close your mind around it as if everything is absolute. They'll say NASA means to deceive in Hebrew. But then if NASA means to deceive in Hebrew, then what's a Nasi? Just the vowel change makes one deception and one priesthood. You know what I'm saying? So, things could mean different things according to context. As I always say, a Nasi. One with the purpose of leading the cons through the code, right? So we're not talking about deception, we're talking about Nasi. But suddenly we say Nasa, and we got deception, you know what I mean? Just hide your own hijinks, Solomon is Solomon. Hanan is Hanan, sometimes called Canaan, because they put a C in front or a K in front. So we say choose your Canaan, because this Canaan ain't coming out of Ham. This Canaan and this Hanan. Let's dig on it. David the first, who is also Prester John, has a son with Hannah. So you got the Hanan. He's pretty much named after Mama, right? Hanan. This Hanan, son of David the first. All right. I'll give you a little bit, brother. Princess Dara. Shout out to the Lady Dragons on the wall. Got him out here. Princess Limbo. This might give a little more about Hanan. Let's go. This is same genealogies. It's different titles. Roger, Prester John. Son Hanan. Brother Solomon the first. This is bringing us to the timeline, or at least the version of the timeline. I feel like we're talking Spider-Man, like the multiverse. It's like all these different titles on the same thing, But this is this particular version of it. You got another version of it, but it's the same thing. Hanan the second or Hanan the first, both sons of Prester John. Is it the second or the first? These people made mistakes too, but at least here we see clearly that his brother Solomon the first. We just said Solomon is also what they're called Alma. So you got a Solomon and a Hanan. Are the son of Prester John, the sons of Prester John. So the sons of Prester, we got to put this together ourselves. And the further validation that this David Rubini is the exact same as David Rabani. Right? This Hanan, they don't mention his brother Solomon, they just mention his sisters, right? Princess Dara and Limbu. His dad is still David the First, or Prester John. Rabani. Rabini. Same person. We're talking David. We're talking Barbur, or Kabar, or Eber, or Kavera. Now David, Rubini, they just say Eber or Kavera fell to the Mohammedans in the 7th century. Right, they were at war with the Prophet Muhammad. They were led against the followers of Muhammad by Solomon and Hanan, which are the sons of Prester John, or David the First. As we see here, Solomon, his brother is Hanan, and they are sons of Prester John. Okay, let's go. So we filling in the holes of the story as we talk about this Islam flow and this war that's happening. Right? Remember, the 700s ain't far away from this. Silvanus told Texas, David, Silvanus, Brabo, all that. Kalelu's flow, 700 AD, all that, Nehemiah, all that, right? So all this is happening in the American Empire of Kalelu's. We didn't know it was an American empire. We forgot we were in India Superior. We forgot we were in the land of Prester John, right? Yeah. They made us forget. So Solomon and Hanan, sons of David, that a Jewish army, a Hebrew army, placed such importance on early followers of Islam is rather extraordinary. What do you mean the Jewish army placed importance on early followers of Islam? They're trying to make it seem like the Jewish army is placing an importance on Solomon and Hanan, and that they're supposed to be some followers of Islam. Or are they just talking about the followers of Muhammad, who we were led against? Alright, let's go. Their leader's name reveals the ancient Levite leadership that connects to the Jewish academy in Tiberias. The significance of this connection appears to be downplayed among historians. Therefore, a broader but brief look into the whereabouts of Exilarch and Nasi is warranted. We're talking Exilarch. Okay. So you got Exilarch David the Sixth. He's the other brother, right? You got Hanan, you got Solomon, you got the Exilarch David the Sixth. All of them are sons of the Prester. We're talking Exilarch, which is the ruler of Israel during these captivities. Alright, so let's go. A brief look into the whereabouts of the Exilarch and Nasi is warranted. The house of David, the Exilarch, and the seduced Nasi were not usually on friendly terms. Mainstream history alleges that the office of the Nasi ceased to exist 200 years before the appearance of Prophet Muhammad. according to tradition, the Sanhedrin, and therefore the Nazi, was in Jerusalem for a brief period until their displacement in about 470 AD. So they're connecting the Nazi with the Sanhedrin. This is where they're getting a lot of the laws and all that stuff from. Right? So Eudokia, wife of Theodosius II, is said to have issued a permit to rebuild the temple in 443 AD. The Talmud declares in regards to the beginning of the Messianic era, quote, "And it is stated that 4,231 years after the creation of the world would be orphaned." This turned out to be the year 470 AD. The world being orphaned means that they had lost the temple at that time. So the Nazi ended up in the Arab Peninsula, in particular in Yemen and Medina. Then we say that Khatan is the first king of Yemen. We're talking Arab proper, right? You see the pieces we put in separately. Let's go. Persian kings Peroz the first, Kabet the first, attempted to exterminate the Babylonian Pharisee Exarchate. So all the Exarchs at that time, Pharisee Judaism, the most important sectarian center, was the center of the Mohazi, which had become not only the seat of the Exarch, but in tandem also the Nestorian Patriarchate. The city was situated near the royal center Seleucia, Ctesiphon, Ctesiphon. It was the place where the Exarch Zutra II was crucified in 528, punishing an intentionally successful rebellion against Persia 495 AD. It appears that the Exarch may have resided in Mohazi itself for a short period only. Following the disaster, the daughter of the Exarch, Hannah V, fled to Yathrib or Medina with her entourage. The daughter of the Exarch, Hannah, and call me Hannah, let's go. Also sounds like Hannah, right? Without investigating the reason for such apparently anti-Semitic campaigns by Byzantine and Persian leaders within a few decades, the consequence was that the offices of both the Holy Family and the Exarch and the Nazi ended up in Medina. This should perhaps be the most important change in Judaism since the 1st century AD, and should also constitute a significant input for 2 of the 5 partners, quote unquote, in an ecumenical foundation of Islam. Yahuda, Nasara, Sabiwina, Majusa, Ashraku. 2 of these should therefore be members and perhaps leaders of Babylon and Tiberian Jews, respectively. In an earlier paper, the Nasara in the Quran, I argued that the consensual notion that the Nasara or Nasi typically appear together with Jews, Yahud, makes little sense in a broader Jewish context. It is more likely that a more precise term would be Judah, which bears a significant meaning. So the Nasara will be together with Judah. Okay. However, since Babylonian and Tiberian Jews were fierce competitors, since time immemorial, conflict and warfare was all but certain. So Tiberian and Babylonian Jews, they were fierce competitors. Now we're talking about northern southern tribes, and we're just talking about other confederacies that are claiming our titles under our tents, right? Just like the Arab. A little more of this and we'll keep going. At the beginning of the 6th century, the Arab Peninsula was penetrated by 4 main refugee groups. Refugees, so they're on the move, and their leadership seems to have concentrated around Medina, the family of the Exilarch, Jews, Melkite Christians, or Sabians, or Ghassanid, and the Levite Khorasanasi, Levite priesthood. This was an explosive mix that would need some relief. The Ghassanid, Ghassanid, King Al-Harith, son of Jabala, invaded the oasis of Kabar in 567 AD. Remember, Kabar is Hebrew, or Kabar. Let's go. To expel its Hebrew inhabitants. That's how long you've been at war. More and more, because these were all dark-skinned people in America. Let's go. The citizens returned later to make a living with date cultivation and commerce. The fact that each of the families in the oasis fortified their homes and stables attests to the precarious security situation in the sectarian neighborhood. One of those Jewish family tribes, the Banu Nadir of Medina, claimed descent from Moses' his brother Aaron. The name Nadir indicates that this tribe represents the Nasi. So we're talking about Levite connections with Nasi. We're talking about Aaron connection with Nasi. But Nasi's supposed to mean deceiver. I mean, it could be flipped and twisted, you know. Again, context is everything. But don't be foolish. You know what I'm saying? Look at everything with a dragonfly perspective. Look at everything with a dragonfly perspective. And Nasi is also connected with the Levites and Aaron. How does it change to Nasa deceiver, right? So in the 12th century, Jews called Kabar, or Hebrew, Arabic Kabar is Hebrew. Okay. How we doing, man? How's the flow? Feeling good? Okay. Let's go. Shout out to Five Tribe. Free feedings. Now we're in the 12th century. You know where else we're in the 12th century? You guessed it, man. You guessed it. Estimated before 1302, Exilarch David Salston. His brother is Hanan. 1222. His brother is Salimah. Salimah, 1135. 1190. Oh, we in the 12th century now, boss. They're the sons of Prester John. So we're in the 12th century now, folks. And we're talking about David Rubani, or Rubini, right? David the First. Son is Hanan. Let's go. So in the 12th century, Jews called Kabar, or Hebrews, had their government in Tama and were ruled by Hanan the Nasi. So in the 12th century, as Genie is validating, they're being ruled by Hanan, who is the Jewish king of Tahama. Shout out my Aqua. When my Aqua said that there's a Tahama, Utah. Oh man. So here we go. So this Jewish king, this Hebrew Khan, 12th century, right? 1200s. He's ruling at this time that we're picking up in the story, David Rubini. And David Rubini would be his dad. Father of Hanan. Sometimes called Kana. Okay. Or Ania. Let's go. Wave surfers only. So Rabbi, Rob, or A-Rob, Hanan the Nazi. Okay, 12th century, the Hebrews called Kabar, Hebrew, ruled by Hanan, the Hebrews, that's why. Benjamin of Tudela pointed about 40 large towns and 200 villages around Kaveri or Eber. In the Arab proper peninsula with about 300,000, that is 300,000 Hebrews in Kaveri in America, in this particular region. Islamic history teaches that it is not possible because Muhammad had allegedly expelled the Jews from region. Nah. We're talking about America, though. At that time, Kabar had long been abandoned. We're talking about America, though. The word Habar is a biblical word. Really? That's crazy. Because last time that I checked, Habar is Hebrew. Yeah, it's a biblical word, boss. Silly? Now you're just being silly. Habar is a biblical word that does not point to Kabar, but to Kabar River, which originates in Turkey. Here's their conjecture. It originates in Turkey. Flows through the desert of eastern Syria. Where's the original Syria? Huh? Where's the original Turks say they coming out of? Back to Morocco, back to America. From the northeast into the Euphrates. Where's the Euphrates, boss? Euphrates River in America? This identification constitutes uncontested consensus. Well, we contest. According to the Bible, Reuben's tribe was brought to the Kabar River into exile. According to the Bible, Kabar River, they were brought to Kabar River into exile. And this location became its own base. The river also provides for the setting for the book of Ezekiel. In the Hebrew Bible as the location of its messianic story. What did Ezekiel say, Ezekiel 37? One shepherd, David will be one shepherd. David will be one shepherd, right? One shepherd, David. That sounds like a messianic story, but I'm not talking about JC. Nah, boss, can't let him away with that one, boss. Say 3 and 5. You gonna wake up, you gonna return. See HaWah your power, and David your God. Ezekiel, another witness, right? They put that right in Kabar, right? Ezekiel says it not once, but multiple times. It's a messianic story. I'm glad they say that. I didn't say it. They say it, man. It's a story about a HaMashiach. Yeah. Okay, because we're getting back like the valley of dry bones. It's a story about a shepherd leading his flock. And I will set up over them, verse 23, Ezekiel 34. I will set up one shepherd over them, and he shall feed them, even my servant. Yeah, here we go again, right? Christians don't like this. Even my servant David, he shall feed them, and he shall be their shepherd. And I, HaWah, will be their power, and my servant David, Khan among them, I have spoken it. Jeremiah 30, whom I will raise up to you, the Targum kicks off and says that, yeah, David is a righteous king. He don't got no smut on his name. He's the appointed leader in the age to come, because of the merit that you were a righteous king. So in the age to come, latter days, end of days, age to come, who's the appointed anointed leader? Because he was a righteous king. Can't be JC, boss. He was not a king. He was not anointed with the holy oil of HaWah. And he's not the appointed leader in the age to come. We're talking about a messianic age, right? We're talking about Ezekiel. Messianic story that clearly lets you know that David is going to feed his flock and be the one shepherd over there. How many? 2, 3? One shepherd over there. So Yahushua can't be the one shepherd. Muhammad can't be the one shepherd. This is Ezekiel, a messianic story. One shepherd is referring to my servant David, who is their prince forever. Ezekiel 37, a messianic story, they say. How y'all reeling? Two sticks. Join them one to another into one stick in your hand. So you putting these two sticks together, that's the messianic story, the town. They crucify their Jesus on the cross, on your tab, right? On the two sticks that are put together in your hand. Ezekiel had to bear the sins of Israel 430 days. Who bore the sins of Israel? It's a messianic story. My servant David shall be king over them, and they shall all have one shepherd, shall walk in my ordinances, observe my statutes, and do them. Messianic story. David is king forever. My servant David shall be their prince forever. David, my servant, shall be their calm forever. I will make a covenant of peace. Back to Psalms 89. Receipts around here. I have made a covenant with my chosen. I have sworn unto David. Forever will I establish your seed. My David, my servant David, shall be their calm forever. Moreover, I will make a covenant of Shalom. It shall be an everlasting covenant with them. I will establish them and multiply them, and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forever. And my servant David shall be king over them. They shall have one shepherd, man, not two, not three, not four. They gonna keep the code. They gonna keep the code, right? Ezekiel's letting you know. Jeremiah is letting you know. Hosea is letting you know. Psalms, David himself is letting you know. Psalms 110 is letting you know. HaWah said in his decree to make me, David, Lord of all Israel. But he said to me, wait till Saul passes away, right? For one reign should not encroach on another. I, verse 4, HaWah have sworn and will not turn aside, that you are appointed leader in the age to come, because of the merit that you made righteous king. So in the age to come, you are the
to ask for medication to treat COVID-19.
My servant David shall be king over them, and they all shall have one shepherd, and they also shall walk in my ordinances, observe my statutes, and do them. Managa, you are keeping the code. And because of that, the first thing that comes is what? Your land, man. Your land comes immediately. That's crazy, right? The land that I gave to Jacob, my servant, where your fathers dwell, and they shall dwell there. They, their children, right? We're talking about children dwelling safely. Ain't that the point? For our children to dwell safely with HaWah. The presence of HaWah is at your right hand. He struck down kings on the day of his anger. You want HaWah to protect us as he always protects the righteous. By doing that, we keep the code. So we tapping into the land because we back in order. But first we had to seek HaWah and keep the code. The covenant is with David. He is the chosen, the anointed with that oil, the firstborn, the highest of the kings, the Rex Neck Goose. Who is Prester John? If he's this high, it's going to be extra biblical type of recordations. You know what I'm saying? You're going to find King David outside the Bible if he's that high of a king of the earth. And now we see clearly that he's hidden in the title Prester John, the immortal king, the one who will be raised up again. You can't usurp that. You can't hijack that. That is forever. Because HaWah has forever mercy. My covenant shall stand fast with him, David, his seed, which is a combination of feminine energy and masculine energy. Together will rise up. His seed also will I make to endure forever. You can't front on David. You want to boast your Yahweh over David. You are now taking away your covenant, your endurance, your Baruch. You're taking away, the mercy. Because the mercy ain't with no Yahweh Shai, man. Surely I would not be false unto David. His seed shall endure forever. Not Yahweh Shai seed, man. We're talking Dawid. It shall be established forever. How many ways do you need to get it? From Ezekiel, from Jeremiah, from Hosea. Let's go. We in the Targum. How many ways do you need to get it? It's a messianic story popping off in Ezekiel, right? The river also provides for the setting for the book of Ezekiel in the Hebrew Bible as the location of the messianic story, the HaMashiach one shepherd story. Okay. Hold up, man. Let's get it back. Make sure we stay up in the 5 tribe. One more time. Gotta stay in that 4-3-2 group, man. Let's go. Okay, we making a decimal. We doing? But I tell you, man, it's 106, and it feels like we're just getting started. Only in the Prester John investigation can it be 2 hours and 47 minutes in and feel like, I'm just getting started. That's what we know, man. The wild's giving us that water, and we just swimming in it. Let's go. Okay. All right. Ezekiel, messianic story. Got it. It explains the end of the world, age to come. Were in all nations that had troubled the Jews. Didn't we just read that? Putting an end to all these nations, gathering you wherever you've been scattered, right? Were all the nations that had given you any type of issues, right? That is all nations, and the temple in Jerusalem will be rebuilt. For that purpose, the Iraqi Kurdistan city of Zakko at the river appears to have been chosen by a large Jewish community as the Jerusalem of Assyria. So they going crazy, right? They're taking these little prophecies and they're applying it to their regions. They're applying it to their people, their hijacks, their history. They're saying, okay, we're gonna, choose this area. We're gonna choose that area. None of them are applying it to America, which is why that we are in the real HaMashiach age. You know what I'm saying? The message is getting across that we're already home. We're waking up. We're seeing clearly. We got the dragonfly perspective. An account about Reuben, David Rubini, by the contemporary Jewish chronicler is typically ignored. It notes that Rubini was from a distant country and before the dismount. David Rubini's from India. That's crazy, boss. That's crazy talk. David the First is from India. It's crazy. It's crazy talk, boss. Which one? India superior? Hey, y'all. Quick question for the nodders in the front of the class. Does North America exist, man? Oh, David's from India? From Asia? Okay. From Grand Tartary, from China? South America? No, North America, folks. Does North America exist? India superior. Does North America exist? China, cat, Tangu. India superior. Does North America exist? I see Canada. I don't see North America. I see Florida. And I see India superior. David's from India, right? David Rubini was from a distant country of India. How many countries does India got? He's from a distant country of India. India is superior, man. He was introduced as a Hebrew and brother of the King of Jews. The latter would be the heir apparent to the promised land. So, how many brothers does David have? Or are they just all mixing in their conjecture so that you don't see clearly? We're talking King David, who is the heir, who is the one shepherd forever. Indians used to be a nickname for the disowned tribes of Abraham along the Red Sea. Because I guess, they don't got their titles no more, just call them Indians. Specifically referring to the Ishmaelites. Whoa. Okay. And the Keturahs, right? Because Keturah, Hagar, and them all split off, right? So Kabar was part of the area of the Indians during the Reformation or the reform of Martin Luther's time. A book referred to the emperor of Ethiopia as Prester John of the Indians. Who is Prester John? Just keeps popping up in the timelines. No matter what history we digging on, we're talking about Ethiopia and India. And here comes Prester John again. Ain't that something? So Kabar is Eber, Kavera. Kabar was part of the area of the Indians. In other words, Kabar or Eber is part of India superior. In other words, Kavera is part of India superior. Okay, we got it. Antioch, Okay. A book referred to the emperor of Ethiopia as Prester John, who is the Emperador de los Abyssinia. The emperor of Ethiopia is Manage, the Emperador de los Abyssinia. Abyssinia is the native name of Ethiopia. Emperador, right? Emperador. Prester John. Come. Emperor of Ethiopia is Prester John of the Indies. India superior. The author meant to relate Ethiopia to the lands along the newly discovered sea route to India, around the Cape of Good Hope in South Africa, the Indies. That's crazy, because right around that Cape of Good Hope, South Africa, the Portuguese were looking for Prester John for 500 years, man. That's crazy relation right there. And this monument is from South Africa, where they were popping off into their voyages and crusades, even from South Africa, looking for Prester John. From 1145, 12th century, 12th century, 12th century, David Rubini, 12th century, 1145 to 1645, my night. 500 years looking for Prester John. Come on, 500 years looking for Prester John. Years looking for the Prester. Yeah, buddy. South Africa. Despite consensus, it can be doubted that the word Habor in Reuben's story relates to either a river in the Euphrates basin or to Kabar. Whoa. Prop. Birdman and Rub activate. This is a juicy link, I told y'all, especially when you got a Dragonfly perspective and you know who the Arab proper is, right? Let's go, we're in the dismount season. Go get Prester 91, get that Arab proper drop, because we went way more into it. So now you know that it's a Hebrew proper, or Kabar proper, right? And the Euphrates River might have more to do with the Habar River. Then we think this all could be one thing. The Kavera River in the Euphrates basin. Kavera's over here, that means the Euphrates gotta be over here. Another body bag. The most important lineage for Jews or Hebrews is the one through the father of all Judaic religions, Abraham, to his son Isaac, to his grandson Jacob. However, undisputedly, Abraham's firstborn was Ishmael. From his second son Isaac were born the redhead Esau. Who said redhead? It's the red ruddy, which is a brown. Let's go. And the younger twin brother Jacob, who the firstborn were, has dramatic consequences to the inheritance. When Esau was once in dire need, he was betrayed by Jacob, who obtained Esau's birthrights in exchange for a meal. Didn't Esau already sell his birthright? How was he betrayed? You think HaWah would have ordained that? You think HaWah would have gave him that pass and started the 12 tribes of Israel on accident? So don't play with HaWah. Don't bear false witness. This brotherly letdown rationalizes why Jacob's lineage took primacy over everyone else, and particularly those in Esau's lineage, Romans, and in consequence, Western Christianity. So they're linking all that to Esau. Birthright, huh? The meaningless treachery over the birthright amounts to something only when we remember that Abraham's inheritance entailed the promised land. The birthright was to an empire. The king of the Jews was supposed to be the emperor of the world. So we say King David is not just a ruler of Israel, man. He's the emperor of the I've seen him. He's the ruler of the world. We've got in that $1,000 book, King of the King, Rex Negoose, Rex Regnum. Seen and unseen worlds. He's monitoring it all, right? It's a big deal why they're trying to hijack him. The King of the Jews was supposed to be the emperor of the world, not just Israel. The entire earth, man. Jacob wrestled with God one night on an angel, after which he was disabled and renamed to Israel. As a result, the 12 tribes of Israel are embodied in the sons of Jacob, also known as Israelites, or the children of Israel. The deceit over the inheritance is a pivotal point in Messianic history. Again, they're in deception. This was a clear passing of an energy. You know what I'm saying? Firstborn, Isaac, might have had an intention and said, okay, my firstborn, because he's my firstborn, I'm going to give him this birthright. Rebecca, who was, in communication with the Creator, was giving a flow, like, yo, don't let him do that. This is who the birthright's supposed to be passed to. Now, could it have happened if Esau hadn't already sold his birthright? Did it happen by accident? Did Judah, king of Judah, Genesis, scepter would never depart from Judah, happen by accident? Or, do we need to put the story and all the pieces together and not bear false witness on what, like it's some type of deception between who the birthright is passed? Ishmael's going to have an issue with Isaac because he got the birthright. Esau's going to have an issue with, Jacob, regardless of this red lentil situation. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be deep. The covetous has been a big issue. And an issue of why we've been at war more and more. Regardless of who got the birthright, we all in captivity today. So arguing over a birthright seems counterproductive. Keeping the code seems very productive. Let's go. So either way, that was the plan, talking promised land. The science typically proposed a new religion that would go back to Adam or Abraham or another biblical ancestor such as Ishmael. This approach neutralizes the imperial aspirations of the Jacobites and potentially opens the succession of the promised land to anyone. Here comes the hijack. Here comes the hijack. So that's a good place to pause right there. We got a few more pages in on the daily flow. Let's just have some fun for the dismount. If you want a hard copy of that forbidden history, we're going to touch on a couple of things for the dismount, but make sure you hit up Tuscoral.com and hit up Daniel Lowe, Treasures of Utah, Forbidden Histories of America, Death of the Republic, I guess that's the new joint. Tuscoral, got a few volumes in it. A lot of drive, man, happening on Tuscoral. So go hit it up. This is one of the resources, connected with the Kalalus flow. Another one is a book called Kalalus by Cyclone Cut. Let's get this book. I'm just bringing this up because they talked about a lot of 600s and this Mohammedan situation happening around the 600s and this Kabar flow and all that. So let's also keep our mind on what's happening in the 600s, 700s. Something very familiar to us, right? Bodies on Bodies and Kalalus. Great article. Go get the Drop, conspiracycafe.com. Now they got this Nehushtan situation, these snake around reptiles, around these crosses, and swords, and dragons, and all that. They even say dinosaurs one time, Diplodocus dinosaur. In the 1920s, in Tucson, Arizona, were found objects and writings in Latin, Greek, and Hebrew. Alright, so you got Hebrew artifacts in Arizona, 1920s, with both Catholic and Hebrew ritual objects and symbols. Cyclone Cut, who wrote the book Kalelus, describes this discovery in his book Kalelus, a Roman Jewish colony in America. And again, Roman is coming from a Hebrew word, Ramon. Get your ether packs, it's all over. Ramon means pomegranate, man. Alright? That's all I'm saying. You got the link, put it up. Pomegranate nights. Pomegranate contains the Hebrew blessings we said before eating the food. There's a lot going on. It's just pomegranate. What's it got to do with the apple? Sure they'll be changing these links, man. They took a lot out these links. Connected a whole lot more than that, man. The Rimon is the Roma. Pomegranate. Remember Joshua and Caleb had to get the pomegranates to prove they in the promised land. We're just talking promised land. So they talk Roma, talking Rimon, talking pomegranate, talking Kalelus, promised land in America. From the time of Charlemagne to Alfred the Great, that's the name of the book. Covey and other researchers are amazed at the mixture of Jewish, Christian, Kabbalistic objects and symbols, or Hebrew artifacts. However, this very much fits this period in the 8th century when the Carolingian Empire there is a Jewish principality in southern France called Septimania. So the Hebrews in France, the Franks, Septim means seven cities of gold, back to Cover, Hebrew, right? Ruled by Theodoric, Norban, or Makir is like the mark. Let's go. Son of Judah, Amen. So the Moors like to just talk about this Alamo Rock, America's Alamo Rock, America connects to Mary. You just don't want to talk about this Kalelu drop because it's all about the Hebrews, the Israelites. This is during this time of the More War with the Mohammedans and them. We're going to war against the sons of David, such as King Hanan, such as King Solomon, sons of David the first. Raja Hiraja, Jadara, Mary. These were the Khans already ruling in America. Why wouldn't America be named after them? It's already happening. You don't need no Americus Vespasian, none of that, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You don't need none of that. This is happening in 700, 600. Many members of his family descended from the exiles of Babylon, man. Did we just say that? Who's the Babylonian exiles, right? Son of David the first, Jadara. David the sixth, Solomon, for the dismount. Huh? Talking David, right? many members of his family, whose family? My kid. Descend from the exiles. So it's like a David on David war popping off as well. We had infighting of our own, Davidic lines going at it. Kalelus records speak of Theodorus as the leader of many people who leave the Roman red line. Plans for Kalelus in 775, so that was some type of journey. Promised land type of flow. Covey and others believe that Theodorus is a Hebrew leader in the city of Rome. However, this is too literal reading of the term Rome. I'm talking your mind. Theodorus is none other than the Hebrew king of seven cities. Reminding Hebrew state in France. He is the son of the first Hebrew king of Septimania, called Theodoric. The heir of America, Ogier, Theodorus, Dietrich, Theodoric, Mary, Chetif, Nehemiah, Naaman, Amor ben Amor. But we're not talking about no Moab. Is also known as Theodoric, king of Saxony, Naaman's king of Barbur. He and his brothers were great warriors, Davidic princes. David, right? David. Professor author Zuckerman in his book, A Jewish Princeton in Feudal France, confuses him with his father who bears the same name. Frankish name, Theodoric and Mary. So Mary is a name that the Franks was already popular with. The Franks and the Rus were part and parcel with popping off this Templar flow, protecting the secrets of Solomon. Which one? Let's talk about this Solomon. On the death of his father, Ogier Theodoric, in about 765, Nehemiah Theodoric becomes the Western exile. So after these exiles, leader of all the Jews, revived Western Roman Emperor Charlemagne. Charlemagne just means great king. So all these little artifacts, big artifacts, all this writing on are found in Arizona. And at first the Jews tried to claim them, then they said we can't claim them because then we got to claim to be here when Columbus gets here, and that wouldn't make sense because we are funding the slave trade. We can't be looking for ourselves, putting ourselves in captivity. We can't claim that we are these Romani because they are the Toltecs. They're the Toltecs. In 775 AD, Nehemiah Theodoric reconquered the American Empire. So while they're talking about all this 600 business, right? All this 600 business going on. All this 567-ish stuff that Cabal, you know? Yeah. Right around the same time frame as this 775, all this is happening in the American Empire of Kalelus. Kalelus was ruled by Silvanus Toltec. Is this right? So the Toltecs are popping off. These Jews can't claim to be related to the Toltecs because they're the Native Americans. Now the Jews got to claim to be Native Americans too. They can't walk in them shoes, right? So Solomon the builder is Silvanus, is Solomon. Which Solomon? Remember this time shift, so, could this be the same son of Solomon as the brother of David, Saul's exilar? Son of David the first, Raja and Raja. Some in the building, separated by a few hundred years. But remember the three major chronological time shifts, 333 years, right? They're shifting the same King Solomon back in time, 1,000 years, 1,800 years. So don't say it can't be. The Scholar and Batavius made sure it was. Solomon the builder, hereditary ruler of this former Hebrew rule, Rimmon, pomegranate, Rimmon. Okay, so we're just seeing how it fits in with this Kabar flow, David Rubini flow. Calais was founded in the 1st century BC by the Babylonian exile. Put it together, my knock for the dismount. Babylonian exile. Founded by the Babylonian exile who they call Silvanus, which is another Solomon title. Silvanus and Solomon, and this title Ogier connects with this Ogier, because later they mention the ogre heads of the ogre. The ogre is the Ogier. Is the Almanac, which they took it out of Daniel Lowe's book, in Histories of America. They took this whole line out. It ended like, right, it just skipped this whole piece, right? So it skipped the whole part about the ogre heads and the ogre. We had to find this in a separate link. So we saw, oh dang, they took this out of the book. They took this part out of the book because they didn't want you to relate no face to this Silvanus. They didn't want you to think about no Almec and Solomon in the same paragraph. Now we're reading about Genghis Khan going to war against the Tangu. The Tangu are the Shishia, are the Almec. Genghis Khan went to war against the Almec. War, right? But when did it happen in 775? It happened in 1202, 1100s. Antigoon flow from the swords of the east for the dismount. Again, I know we read this 1,000 times, but it gets clearer and clearer every time we come back to it. So if Calais was founded, like the Promised Land, right? Founded by Silvanus Ogier. Title of Solomon. What is David and Raja flow talk about? David the First, who is Jadaran, is the emperor of Soli, right? So Solomon, Soli is a title, so he would also wear the title Soliman, even if his son is also a Solomon, and his sons are also David's. All is his title. Raja is a title, Chola is a title, Jadaran's a title, Sol is a title, Prester is a title, Pandian, all these are titles, John's a title. We see that his name is David, and even David is a title. Soli. Solomon the builder is Silvanus Ogier. But Silvanus Ogier could just be the father of Solomon, who is David, under the Ogier or the Brabo title. The Brabo title is where they're getting the Barbur title. And the Barbur title means swan. Hebrew word of the day, remember that? Barbur means swan. So the Berbers were just hijacking the swan title. The swan title goes all the way back to the ruler of Sumer. Sumerian, maybe. Great Romani Hebrew ruler. Back it up. Halal, founded in the 1st century by Silvanus, which could be David or Prester. Brabo, Solomon II, Babylonian exilar. Nasi, here we go again, of Mar. Again, how they get nasty. Now we're talking to see, because we changed the I to an A. What's the root, my naga? What's the root? Which Sumer is it? They say Sumer set in Britain. Conjecture. We're just talking about Sumerian, boss. Put your timeline together. Soldier, ancestor of the Swan Knights of the Barbur Hakatsi. He also had a fleet of trading vessels, just like Solomon in the Bible, right? Solomon the Builder. In 775 AD, in America, Empire of Halal. Can't make this up. We're talking about an American empire. We're talking about Kuvera. We're talking about India Superior. Before the dismount, he had a fleet of trading vessels known as the ships of Solomon, or the swan boats. The ships were shaped like swans with the sails like the wings of a beautiful gliding white swan. After the defeat of Silvanus Taxis, the members of the royal family, Israelite royal family, were sent to Europe, where they were under the protection of Nehemiah, who is Makir. So they were protected in Europe because we have people there, right? We got Israel there, we got Israel here. The legends of Antigoon and Ogier are based on the activities of his family descended from Antigoon, Ogier, and Silvanus Brabo, Silvanus Barbur, which is the swan, with the swan boats. The legends of Ogier, the Dane, son of Godfrey, controlled Doom de Mayens actually refer to Tawatha de Dunan, were also known as Mananan or Maine of America. So they got a state called Maine, but Mananan back then was located right near Arizona, Mananan. Just like Rhoda was in around that Four Corners as well. Rhoda became Rhode Island over there. Mananan became Maine in the East Coast. Rhode Island is now in the East Coast. All that used to be in the Southwest. Mananan and Rhoda, the Kingdom of Rhoda in America, where the giant ogre heads of the Olmec are found. Body bag for the illusion. This ain't no play. It's Prester 106, baby. For the dismount. So put it together. Silvanus Brabo Solomon Barbur is where they're getting all these legends of the Ogiers, and all this stuff is all happening in America. We're talking America, where the giant ogre heads of the Olmec are found, where the Western Shishia are found. Shia XI is the Antigoon, which is where Genghis Khan found Prester John and went to war in Antigoon. Swords of the East, India Superior, right? Okay. Antigoon. The Jews of this ancient Roman, Romani, Hebrew kingdom of Rhoda, Rhoda is where they're getting the Rod Hanai flow. That rod, that red ruddy flow, you know what I'm saying? Also known as the Rodans or Radanites, were great Jewish merchants who controlled the ancient trade routes. The Rhone Valley and river were named after these Jewish Rhodanite merchants who used the Rhone Valley as a base for their trading empire. Many of them settled in Ireland boasts in the 1st century AD, uniting with their cousins descended from Saint Joseph, Arimathea, Isaac, Calonimus, the son of Nehemiah Theodoric, was also known as Isaac the Rodonite. So a lot happening in 600, 700s in Calais. It was part of the revived Western Empire of King Arthur, a descendant of the Swanites. Nope. King Arthur was a hijack, a complete falsehood, phantom and duplication of King David. Arthur means order. Who's the king of the order? Who's the king? Who's the highest king on earth? That's the king of the order. And it's really letting you know that this revived Western empire of this Rome and Romani flow is the Swanite, Silvanus, Texas, Solomon the Builder, King David flow. Right in your Facebook. This is a bit, this is America. So they used the King Arthur or Arthurian history to create a false genealogy. We got that according to Keegan Brewer and Lost or Legends, Prester John and Legends and the Sources by Keegan Brewer. They got to the battles for that book. Monogaso, the 8th century, due to an admixture with American Indians, the state had referred to paganism. Which Indians? Or you call them pagan? Nehemiah Theodorus led an expedition in 775 to return Calais to the Hebrew or Romani rule. He conquered the ancient city of Rhoda and the Jewish law was restored. After 4 years in 779 AD, Nehemiah Theodorus left Calais for his kingdom in France, which he had left in the hands of his brother Guillaume de Coulombe, or Nathan. So he died 793, killed in the battle of Carcassonne. He then appointed a British Davidic prince Jacob. So these are all connected to the tribes and the seed of David. It's like we're reading in the script how your seed is forever, right? As the Hebrew king of Calais. So this David Prince Jacob was the new Hebrew king of Calais as regent for his young son Israel, who was married to Jacob's daughter. Jacob was a descendant of King Arthur, what we're talking about, David, as well as the Jewish royal family of Bernice. Jacob was the leader of the British Jewish settlers in Calais, the Romani Jewish settlers in Calais in the 8th century were made up of two main groups. The Latin Jewish group from the Frankish Empire, he's talking about Spain and all that, right? Europe, and the British Jewish group from the British Isles, Ireland, Scotland, and all that. Nehemiah Theodoric Hamakir reigned in Germany, right? Swarthy Germans. Until his death in 790 AD, he was one of Charlemagne's leading advisors. He learned about the land of Calais from Gerard, a member of the Swanite family that came to Charlemagne's court in a swan boat. He married Adalis, a daughter of Nehemiah, Duke Naaman. The Swanites' ancestors had come to Ireland from Calais in the 2nd and 3rd centuries AD. Okay, so this is before the 500s of the David Rudini flow. intermarried with the descendants of Nathan the Red, or the Rodon, grandson of Mar Joseph of Arimathea. Mar Joseph was a grandson of Silvanus, Ogier, Brabo, Barbur, or David I, the great Roman Jewish warrior who defeated the giant American emperor of Ogier, or Ogier, called Antigoon. Didn't David have to go against Goliath? Didn't David slay a giant? And we are, investigating that this Silvanus, Solomon, Brabo, Barbur swan title is David. And here goes this David who has to defeat a giant in America called Og. Like Moses had to go against the Og, right? David Moses connection. Juan means oak and describes the stature of Antigoon. So you have this giant being described as an oak, like an oak tree, because of his stature. This Antigoon is a giant, and Brabo, or the first founding father of his Calebus, or the Prester, had to slay the giant. Then we gotta get into the Ogham script, a whole language flow that might have a connection with the Voynich manuscript, right? So we got a Voynich manuscript Ogham connection to dig on. The Ogham script was named for Silvanus Ogham, or David, who slays Goliath. Solomon II, Shalom, right? Shalom, Solomon, Sulam, Selim, Silvius, Salvo, or Silvanus. All this is Solomon. Titles connected with solely Prester John. Who is Prester John? Is it the Magi? Is he the Dalai Lama, man? Yosef, man. Take the wheel. And we con up around here. We dig on Swan Nights. Connect our David Rubini flow. And see clearly that this is an American empire. This is an India superior empire. This is the kingdom of Judah. This is the kingdom of Hasharala, tribes of Israel, Jerusalem, man. Right in your face, bro. Ogham is a legendary home of the Ogier, and I believe that they refer to the Olmec culture in Mexico. I'm out of here, bro. You know that ain't in his book. You know he took this out of the book. The Olmec culture of Mexico, Mexica. Moshe. Meshi is Moshe. We're talking Moses again, man. Who's Prester John? God. David got the code, just like Moshe. Artwork showing King David doing his thistle. He had to slay the giant, He had to slay that Antigoon, King David had to put that work in, It's all happening. got your packs, man, because this is where you keep these jewels, man. A lot of these jewels we're gonna keep coming back to, like this great book, The Medieval Empire of the Israelites. We'll definitely be back in this source and connect some more of this air proper, man, Afghan and all that Jeremiah flow, King Saul flow, and all that. And we'll get back, really digging on this Kaver, this Kabar, this Ebar. And just know again that Kaver is a place named by the Spanish conquistador. Yeah, right. He just swerved it. We're talking the Eber, 1541, for the mythical cities of gold that he never found. We're talking New Mexico, Arizona. We're talking Mexico. We're talking Almac. We're talking Silvanus, till Texas. And I guess on the surface they say they never found the gold. Looking at these series today about all these portals and dimensions, and how whole cities can be hidden in plain sight, and all this. You just wonder if they had the frequency to see the cities of gold. For real. Did they really have the frequency to walk in on Kaver? Were they in the right frequency? Were they in the right dimension? They just couldn't cross into the right flow, right? They found some things, but they didn't find enough. For the days of Coronado, the name of Kavar had been associated with the ideas of a great unknown city of wealth and splendor, situated somewhere in the eastern plains or the far east. And it is not at all unlikely that when some party from the Rio Grande Valley in search for game or gold crossed the mountains in the wilderness lying to the east, suddenly amazed by the apparition of a dead city, silent and tenantless, but bearing the evidences of a large population, of vast resources, and architectural knowledge, mechanical skill, high-tech knowledge, right? Wonderful energy. They had that inner key. They should have associated with it the stories heard from childhood of the mythical center of riches and power. So they heard about you from their childhood, mythical, right? Riches and power, and called the newfound wonder the Grand Kaver. Arizona, New Mexico, and I flow. Getting your ether packs, man, because we definitely gonna start digging on some more of these maps in the ether packs. Get back into my links. There's a couple maps I want to see on my way out of here. Obviously, I got so much going on right here. Ether packs, links on links, windows full of links. I know I got a lot going on. I'm just, what can I say? My life, we're popping off together, man. We're popping off together. got some of that teachings of Silvanus, man. You know, I like that. And stick on this Antioch, man. Way out of here. Barely any of what I wanted to get to today. So, look out for Prester 107. Opal. Antioch, yeah. Typus orbis terrarium, 1602. Telius world map by Abraham Telius. And as you scroll over it right there, you know, obviously you see Peru, South America, right? And bang, Amari. Now it's not saying America, it says Amari. What does that remind you of? Yeah. Nehemiah Theodoru HaMakiri. Makir's other name is what? We got it up here. Thierry Amari, right? Amari, right? And this is the OG, first son of the Hebrew king of the 7 cities of gold, Septimania. It's got the Kavera drop, talking about the gold, Amari. And then when we look on this map, we see the Amari right in the middle, right? And then next to it, you got the Quaveri, and the Antioch, and the Quavera, the Quavera with the Q. The fabled Quavera, spelled exactly the same. Quivira. It's also Khevira. It's also Kheever. It's also Heber, man, or Kabar. If you're talking Arab proper, you know what I'm saying? Choctaw, Heber flow, right? Quavera is Heber, my buddy. We out of here, boss. Quavera is Heber, right? Antioch is Anan. Anan is Anan. You dig? Sons of David. Anan ben David. Amari is Amari. Amari. My kid. Man, we at 70-75 AD. We talking about the American Amari Empire of Galatians. Amari. Let's read about it. Quavera Regnum is noted in the North American West, a city described to Coronado as rich in gold with lordly rulers. Lordly rulers, that's like mythical rulers, man. That's like fabled rulers, right? This is the lordly rulers they talking about. Khan of Khans. Rich and gold. He spent 1540 to 1542 searching for his fabled land of treasure. Quivera or Eber continued to appear on maps throughout the 18th century, spawning the imagination of the map reader and explorer. Why did they stop putting it on the maps? After the 1700s, since it was on maps throughout the 1700s or the 18th century. Then they took it off the map, boss. Then you got Antioch, right? Antioch Regnum. Another mythical kingdom noted in the Northwest, reflecting more of the studies told by the conquistadors of gold, wealthy empires supposedly found in the North American continent or India Superior, in the land of Prester, John. This is your 106th installment of the Prester John investigation, right in your face bone, right from the hard bone. And it's gut bone season, man. It's a gut check to all the hijacks spreading that blasphemy, trying to replace David. Dawid, who is the one that is coming with the age to come. Who's coming with the age to come? Who will be raised up? Who is one shepherd forever? Who, oh who, is Prester John. The water my noggins for surfing me way. It's so much fun. It's an honor to do this with you. And the investigation continues. Halal HaWah. Stay up. Suit up. Choose up. Shalom.